What is going on, guys? Welcome to BossFight TV's The Reload for January 2nd through January 6th. I am Josh Engel, also known as Anti-Pro.
And I'm Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike.
And this week, we have a lot of things to talk about, unlike last week when there kind of wasn't a lot of stuff going on.
Let me go ahead and I'll show. Everybody knows that I have my little notebook. So this is just for last week. So here's page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4. Oh, and there's my geology notes for my geology class that I'm currently taking.
And I would just pull my computer up and turn it around, but...
You kids and your technologies.
You kids and your internet.
You must have went to that CES. That CES convention.
CES convention. Shut up. Use Internet Explorer. Anyway, so before we get started, last episode we announced that we would be giving away free stickers courtesy of iHeartEsports.com if you tweeted us and them the secret code, which was Mike Stop Using IE.
I legit every live stream that I watched this weekend, 80% of the pop-ups from Google Ads was about downloading Google Chrome.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, we were on Skype talking and he was like, "Hey, look, another Google Chrome
it's a
ad."
conspiracy.
Oh man, they went. Now I don't actually, I use Firefox personally, so I would rather you use that, but I don't think anyone's going to change your mind.
I don't know. I have them downloaded.
You have them downloaded, but not in
default is Internet Explorer.
I'm done. Stop the show.
I just got Twitter too.
Anyways,
one step at a time.
Anyways, you've actually been using it a lot too.
I have.
It's awesome. So our winners, we have 2, and that is Spock, my buddy Spock. I love you, man. And we have Filippo SC. So congratulations to you guys. We will be tweeting at you and trying to get your address. So I swear to God, we're not creepers, and we're not going to creep on you. Maybe a little bit. But in other news, along with iHeart Esports, well, mind you, watch the rest of this episode because there's going to be another code this week.
Another code.
But another cool development that happened with iHeart Esports is they have announced a new sticker line.
Ooh.
Awesome. Yeah, it's a really cool thing. So back in the day when you followed baseball, you collected baseball cards, right? So iHeart Esports has come together and they've put together a product line of collectible stickers featuring prominent StarCraft players. So their first set is they're from Team Complexity, and they have Kat Struby, Trimaster, and Don Ray Gu. So really cool lineup. They're going to be announcing two more teams next week, and they're also going to go for 30 players by the end of February.
Wow,
30. That's a lot. So keep on the lookout on iHeartEsports.com as well as BossFight.tv for those announcements. And we actually should be getting a stack of the new stickers to give out to you guys on Twitter. So be on the lookout for that awesomeness, right?
Hopefully they'll be holofoils.
I have the Charizard. I have the holo.
I'll give you the holofoil Don Ragu for...
I would trade you anything for that one.
Oh,
actually.
really?
Yeah.
Okay,
I'll give you all the stickers. All the stickers. All right, so jumping right into all of the crazy news that's been going on. As we mentioned last episode, there were a lot of tournaments that happened in a very short span of time going into the new year. The first one I want to talk about is the GSL Arena of Legends King of Kongs. That's a mouthful.
That's a lot.
That's
a lot to
GSL AOL KOK.
I hadn't heard it abbreviated before.
Neither have I. Anyone who abbreviates that is just weird. Okay. But as we explained last time, it's basically to see who the best is of all the second place finishers, right? So technically, wouldn't the King of Kongs be the second place person?
Oh, so whoever won second place is the greatest, the greatest Kong of all.
That's my argument. But first off, we have it was Lucira July, MKP, that's Marine King. Mind you, Don Ray Gu, they made it out of group play into the playoff brackets. DRG and Lucira were in the finals, and DRG wins an impressive 4-1 series. So technically, he's the winner, but Lucira is the King of Kongs in my book, personally. So I actually didn't get to catch a lot of those games, unfortunately. I saw a little bit here and there, but really cool tournament nonetheless. The next one we're going to touch on, we're not going to stick on a really for a long time is the Code S, which just started a couple days ago. I'm just gonna go just boom straight through it real fast. Ganzi in Group A, Ganzi and Jakchi took first and second, so they are continuing on. In Group B, Supernova and MC got first and second, so they're also moving on. I caught the MC Supernova games, and they were actually really cool, especially because they're both from OGS. And as we've said multiple times, when you are playing someone from your own team, some crazy stuff happens. And I'm not gonna lie, Supernova pulled like even Tastosis, they were like, what? He just pulled the wool over MC's eyes on one of those games. So that is the Code S. Keep watching that stuff. It goes on about like 5 a.m. Eastern time. So if you're on the East Coast, and then West Coast, I think it's like 2 a.m. So 1 or 2 a.m. So if you get a chance to watch that, or go and buy one of their premium passes, and you can watch all the VODs. All the VODs. And I've been most excited to talk about this. I was all the way on the car ride up here. I was talking to Mike about Homestory Cup. And Homestory Cup has to be one of the most like one-of-a-kind, interesting, cool tournaments out there. And basically, it's at Take's house in Germany, and he literally just transformed it into this huge like LAN center where he invited all the best players in the world to come compete in this tournament. And seriously, the format was cool. It was so informal. When they got done with group play number 1, what they did is they let the first place person from each group, they got to change their group with somebody else. And in order to do it in the Homestory Cup way of doing things, Mr. Bitter's like, well, let's make them play a game to figure out. But you would think maybe they would play a StarCraft game. No, they played rock, paper, scissors just to decide who got to pick first, who wanted to move.
I'm going to put an asterisk on the end of that there, because a little later on, I actually have another instance where a tournament used rock, paper, scissors to estimate how a game would be played out.
And it wasn't a rock, paper, scissors tournament, though?
No, it wasn't.
Oh, man. So here we go. We have the players, and they're playing rock, paper, scissors. I can't remember who... MC went second to last. I couldn't remember who went last, because if you think about it, the last person has the most advantage because they can switch anywhere. But MC put himself into what he called the easiest group, and Sound. I want to say it was Sound won, and he put MC into what I consider the hardest group, which was not a problem, which we'll talk about in a second. Also, along with the tournament, the whole feeling behind it, the casters, like any player could just sit down and cast a game. Like we had In Control, we had Destiny, MC, like they all got a chance to sit down and cast the games. And it was really cool to see, what they had to say about the games. And I think you caught some of the games. Who did you get to see cast?
I actually got to see Too Good cast, which for some of you guys out there, Too Good is actually predominantly, he was a professional Quake player, and I had a couple run-ins with him during the World Series of Video Games days. Just a phenomenal caster. He was actually playing World of Warcraft the second year in 2007, but one of the best casters out there for Quake. I know people on like ES Reality are always rooting for him and chanting for him, but you get him behind a PC and a StarCraft game going?
He had no idea what was going on.
Yeah.
It was funny because there was actually a thread on Reddit where someone's like, yo, I see Too Good in the background. Like, everyone upvote this for him to cast. And it was Too Good, In Control, and Destiny, I think it was, when they were casting. And at the end, I have to throw this out there. This cracked me up. They were like, all right, now follow us all on Twitter, yada, yada, yada. And Too Good's like, you can follow me at MLG Sundance. And was it In Control looked over to him and like unbuttoned like all of his buttons, like his top 3 or 4 buttons, and like ripped his shirt open. And he's like, now you can be MLG Sundance.
Now you're Sundance.
Oh, it was really interesting to see him cast. And then finally, the media coming out of this tournament was amazing. Like all the recap videos, all of the interviews and things of that nature. It was just really, really awesome.
I just love the whole feeling of it.
It
was just such a fanfare.
I mean, they call it Homestory Cup. It's like you're right there at home, honestly.
Oh, did you watch I think we talked about that. Did you watch the ending? Did you go back and watch the VOD of the ending?
I did not.
The award ceremony? Oh, my God. Tears. literally welling up in my eyeballs.
Oh man.
Everybody in the chat was going crazy. Go back and watch that VOD. There's like epic music playing in the background. They actually have a podium where they get the players up on top, and then they get everybody into like this big giant group picture. And it's
good times.
Really good.
Times had. Now, in the semifinals and the finals, first off, I seriously took the final day of the tournament and watched the entire thing from start to finish, literally. And I haven't done that in a long time because normally I go back and watch the VODs. I wanna throw out just one game in particular, and that was JYP. It was MC and JYP, where they had the base trade scenario, and they both traded bases, and it was the most intense like cat and mouse because they both built one assimilator each, and they were just dancing around trying to defend it. And MC goes draw, and JYP's like, wait a second, and then eventually JYP's like, okay, we'll draw, we'll draw, and then it ended up MC won. So in the finals we had Sound and MC, and it was a really, really good series. And basically, MC took all of his momentum from the game before. Like I say, it's really good. MC didn't necessarily steamroll every game, but he won 4-0, and he basically secured himself the win. But the interesting thing, of course he won the money and everything, but MC and Sound already had an invite to the Intel Extreme Masters Finals. What is it? The World Championship. Mm-hmm. So JYP, ending in third place, he actually got the invite to the tournament because MC and Sound already had an invite. So technically, JYP even got first place. So it was really cool to see JYP play, especially because he's the newest team member on EG. So that was really cool to see him out there. And in Control had a lot to say about him. He thought he was a really cool guy. So great tournament, great experience. Seriously, Take TV, ESL, the Homestory Cup. It was seriously the coolest tournament ever.
It was fantastic.
More tournaments.
I have to say, we were talking about this earlier. I've never really had a favorite player for StarCraft, but MC definitely. His antics alone have always made me giggle. But
right, and I think you had a little.
Well, it's funny because I actually sent out a tweet about I took a screen capture because I was watching Apex and Homestory Cup at the same time, and it was actually during that game, during that semifinal game, when I shut down because I normally have all the audio for everything because I can decipher what's going on, and then I just click back and forth. But yeah, I turned that game on. I was like, oh, this is crazy, and then just MC's the whole time lounging around the house and hanging out and stuff.
I was talking about the dancing.
Oh yeah.
Do you want to say that?
I want to challenge MC. Hold on, let me get serious.
At the next MLG that you go to,
I will serve you breakdance style.
Breakdance style.
Dance off.
Did you happen? But this is the last thing we'll say about this. Okay. We'll move on. Did you happen to see MC's sex on the beach?
I don't think I've seen that. No. I seen that a lot of times when they were playing the music, and I'd switch over and it was just kind of.
It's awesome because they let the casters basically kind of choose some music here and there, and so it was MC and Marine King, and they were sitting there, and MC's like, if I win, I'll do the shuffle or whatever, and he goes, but wait, I'll do the sex on the beach dance. You didn't see it for real?
I did not see that.
All right, so this thing starts, and it's like a techno type song or whatever, and it gets to the end, the part where it gets into the actual beat, like the really like that beatbox. MC stands up and just goes, and they're dying. They are dying. MC. Please accept Mike's challenge because I want to see this happen.
I'm going to have to look up that VOD so I can see these moves because I might have to counter that.
That was his dance. And then they collapse on the couch in laughter.
Okay.
That's all you have to worry about.
Okay. I'll look that up later. I got my note.
So, going on at the same time, like you mentioned, because you had all the streams going.
Yes.
You had 3 or 4 going on at the same time.
I was surprised my bandwidth could handle it. Yes. Oh.
So tell us about Apex, Mike.
First and foremost, I want to say to the Smash community, I am sorry for how long I have been ignoring you and how long I've been out of the scene. I personally am not a huge player myself,
right.
But locally where I live in Cincinnati, there is actually a big Smash community, and just seeing Apex, this is the biggest event, hands down, that they've had. They kept saying that throughout the entire thing, but just a recap from just the gameplay. Oh my God, 2v2 melee. I forgot how fast it was, and that was the most fun for me to watch. But then also just the community. They had a story where there were a couple of players, I think it was like 2 or 3 guys, coming from Georgia to New Jersey, and apparently right as they crossed the line into New Jersey, hit a patch of black ice and totaled their car into a foam pool. Luckily, all the guys were locally. The
local guys?
They were all okay, minor injuries. They all actually made it to the event. They announced on the loudspeaker, hey, here are these guys. They don't have a way home. They just wrecked their car. And they raised over like $1,000 and bought bus tickets. And it was like 2 bus tickets and 1 plane ticket.
Wow. And
sent the community just bonded together and sent these guys home.
That insane.
Was amazing. But even more insane.
Great awesomeness.
Just even more insane, though, it's just all the action, which this year was a first because it was this was the first EVO stop for the 2012 season. So players there competing in Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, Mortal Kombat 9, and Super Street Fighter 4 2012 edition. Little side note.
Such a long name.
Yeah. They actually They got EVO points, which relates into seeding into the actual EVO event this year. So on the stream, I'm going to call it Stream A, you had all the Smash stuff, great production, just knocking them out left and right, no downtime really. And on the B stream, it was a little shaky just because I don't think they really had enough support for the other tournament staple games is what I'm calling them.
I mean, it started out as a Smash tournament, so that's kind of was their focus.
You know what's funny is me and Justin Wong tweeted back a little bit talking about, because he didn't go to the event either, because he doesn't need to qualify points for EVO anyway, and he'll be at other
Justin
events.
Wong.
I know him and Ricky Ortiz.
I don't need to qualify.
Whatever. What is it? Is that your
I don't know.
Russian?
I don't have. No, that was not a Russian. Okay. I don't know. I can't really do a Justin Wong voice.
Okay. Good enough.
I'll work on it.
Anyway, but it was funny because it's like specifically like Noel Brown was like, this is the worst tournament ever, and just things aren't just working like the way they're supposed to be. And Justin Wong was like, oh, the stream's crap and matches are taking forever. Good old days. I miss them. But anyway, me and him tweeted back and forth a little bit, and then he actually said, I was like, guys, this is a Smash tournament. Like, don't expect things to be top notch. But anyway, we'll actually go into the Smash tournaments.
Right.
Because I actually watched a lot of them. I can't believe I had all 3 streams open. So I had Stream A, Stream B, and Homestory Cup up all at the same time, watching all 3 of them. You just got to decipher in between the audio.
Were you syncing DAT audio like back in the day?
Yeah. I was watching them all in 320 too.
Yeah, like a boss.
Don't get me ranting. But anyway, so we'll start out with Melee 1v1. It was Armada, Hungry Box, and Mango. And this is the thing. That was actually, they had a lot of entrants for that. So that was big. But Brawl is really the main game because that's the newest one, even though it came out in like 2008.
The newest game.
And
it's like 1.6.
And they're just now going to ban Meta Knight, which is obviously a very strong character.
I thought he was already banned.
He wasn't banned yet. He was
he is now?
Banned at midnight on Sunday.
What?
So now that the tournament's over, Meta Knight is banned. But anyway, that's anywhere else. The Brawl tournament, 1v1, had over 400 entrants.
That's a lot.
400 entrants. And who do you think won? The 2 players from Japan.
Oh, wait, what?
2 players from Japan. They came all the way from Japan. Really good players. I think there was a group of like 4 or 5 of them. But that was Otori, Nintano, and then Nero, who was actually, I think he was from Chile. So a lot of international flavor.
Sweet.
That was good to watch. And then I also, the Brawl 2v2, which I want to give a shout out to Mewtwo King, because I know that he's big in the community and he's somewhat local.
For real.
Throwing up
Mewtwo King, man. I like Mewtwo King.
Good guy. Otori and Karaki, who are actually brothers. So you had the #1 Brawl player team up with his brother, took first, and then it was Mewtwo King, and are you ready for this? Anti. Not anti-pro, but anti.
I was I was
took
about to say, I was there.
So that was all Smash, which again was great to see. And they were going to do some show matches, but I think it went a little bit over. But anyway, now we'll get into the other games. So Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3, hype. Oh my God. Let me say this too, though. Out of the final 8, 6 of them were originally from the Smash community. So original Smash Brothers players go into the top 8 for Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And that was Master CJ took first. And then you had Noel Brown took second. And then, I looked down at it. Alucard, which I practiced earlier in the mirror saying that. Alucard took third. There's some crazy stuff to see out of there. Some Sea Viper play, some other play that hasn't really been seen yet this season. So that was good. Mortal Kombat 9, which here's the funny thing. They were located close to the East Coast, so Chris G was heavily favored in every single one of those. Chris G got second in Mortal Kombat and got second in Super Street Fighter 4.
Nice.
2012. But let me do this. Mortal Kombat 9, VVV CD Jr., second, Chris G. Third goes to VVV Rio, so VVV sponsored the event.
Good deal.
Had a very good showing. And then Street Fighter Dominion took first. Chris G took second, which he just needs to practice the game, in my opinion.
Right.
He was looking really good. And then third went to K-Brad. But if you watched the Big Two this week, Team Spooky stream, Dominion actually took third. Santhrax and Aquasilk took first and second, and they actually got eliminated early in the Apex tournament. So Dominion, I don't know. I'm not going to say he got lucky, but going from that scene to take first was really good.
Awesome. Awesome deal.
And that I have a lot more notes on Apex, but that's all I'll say for now.
You can check out the VODs on that one. So there was some Modern Warfare 3 awesomeness going on this week as well.
There was
really quickly,
there was a LAN center up in Ontario, Canada, called We Got Game. We Got Game. Get yours is their slogan. And everybody was chatting that in the chat. But anyway, they had a big, I did a big type up story about it, like a really big type up because it was a really fantastic tournament. Real quick, I'll explain. They have two sections. So there's amateur and there's elite. So elite, they had 6 teams that were invited and they were automatically playing in that tournament. The amateur teams, there was actually, I think there were closer to 10 or 12. The previous day, all battled it out. Top 2 got moved into the elite and actually played. 10th seed Fade actually came out and took the amateur tournament, and going into the second day were then seeded number 3. So there was like some shuffling going around because they came out and had a really good showing. Yeah. But anyway, so amateur, it was Fade, who was the 10th seed, EXE, who was the 2nd seed, and then Savage, who was 4th seed. So a lot of mix up there. And in the finals on the elite, Imagine, who was the 5th seed, came out of nowhere and played intense. Vexed, who was the 1st seed, and then Fade, who previously was the 10th seed, now the 3rd seed, got 3rd. So to come from nowhere out of the open bracket to take 3rd was great. That was awesome. And then kind of on the same line, Modern Warfare 3, Weekly Warfare this week had a premiere. It was Search and Destroy premium game battles. They showed the last 4, which let me give a shout out to Ninjas in Pajamas. There's an old Counter-Strike clan, actually had a team represent, and they ended up, I think they got 2nd. Suddenly Famous got 1st. Ninjas in Pajamas got 2nd, and then 3rd went to, I think it was No Fear. I'm trying to remember correctly, but they ended up actually, they kind of like rage quit out and just took 3rd.
Uh-oh.
They just took the glory and ran.
Oh, no.
That's good stuff. Modern Warfare 3, 2012, big season.
I think that the Modern Warfare 3 has a lot more hype than Black Ops did. I think that this is going to be the year that Call of Duty will kind of pick up more steam, I think. And
you know what? You know what is also a good indication of that? Golden Boy and Puckett are doing the Weekly Warfare and just phenomenal work together.
Good
They're
deal.
Great. Really excited.
I love
for
you,
it.
Chris.
Yay.
He used to be my TV2 partner in StarCraft. Oh, man. So moving on into some Counter-Strike stuff, we'll go over really quickly. First off, starting, it goes from January 10th to the 12th. There's a CSGO tournament going on at GamesCon, sponsored by Playtronics. And it's kind of like more of like a show match type thing because they took 2 teams from 1.6 and 2 teams from Source, and they invite them. So it's UMX US back to back from the 1.6 community, and then we have 3D Max and Dynamic from the Counter-Strike Source community. So watch that. That's going to be going on in the next couple of days. It should be really cool, and you should see what is expected to be a representation of high-level play on Counter-Strike. And then another just real quick thing that I want to jump on that was really interesting is Evil Geniuses actually dropped their Counter-Strike 1.6 team, which was kind of a weird move, I think.
Yeah,
especially with Go coming out. So, there was some rumors out there that said they were going to drop their support in 2012, and they kind of came true.
It kind of came true. Really came true.
That's kind of sad to see.
And it's really because there's so much hype behind the community right now.
Right.
I mean, we have Go is getting ready to, obviously, it's still in beta, but it's getting ready to come out. But also, shout out to Corey Dunn, who's doing his own live stream show called On The Go, which is basically an introductory. It tells you how Counter-Strike Go is different from 1.6 and Source, and what may need to be done to make it a little more competitive and a little more introductory to new players. But then also, he teamed up with, it's Weisenhouse, I think it's like Weisenhoused is the name, and then Weisenhouse TV is his live stream. They are now doing another show where they're combining each other, so they're both Counter-Strike commentary legends coming together for one show. That is called Choke Point. So look out for that, and they have Counter-Strike pros coming on and talking about Counter-Strike Go in the future. So that's a lot of excitement around Counter-Strike.
Sweetness. I can't even talk. So,
you know what? Let me actually real quick talking about excitement. Team Fortress 2 is actually getting a lot of coverage right now. You have ESEA is they started this season. It's kind of like Cal for those of you that remember Cal. Their season, they just have this season that's started in October and is wrapping up now in February. It's like February 13th, so they're getting ready down to the nitty gritty. So their open bracket actually has a lot of mix-up American and Canadian teams coming out of nowhere. And then the actual invitational tournament is actually getting really intense. And there are 2 teams striving for the top spot. But like I said, we've got a little bit longer left than that. And then also Community Fortress is back up and running. So if you're looking for Team Fortress 2 competitive play, check them out and get in some tournaments.
secret code for the episode. This episode was really long. Hashtag. This episode was really long. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff to talk about, so sorry about the length. I mean, if you're still watching, tweet us at BossFight TV and at iHeart Esports. Also follow us. You have to be following us and tweet it. Hashtag. What did I already say?
This episode is too long.
It'll be on the screen, so no matter what I say, it's do what it says on the screen.
I could go longer.
I know. But I think the folks at home are like, for the love of God.
Check out the site for all the text stories.
Right, indeed. I'm really excited to see Team Fortress rock and roll. So, yeah. So I think that wraps up a lot of the news that was going on this week. I want to remind everyone to watch our new show that we're doing on Sunday, which is a live show where we are taking a look at games that may or may not be competitive, and that was Mike's brainchild. So we'll be sitting down and playing some Windjammers again, which if you haven't seen that, check it out. It's like Pong / soccer / frisbee / tennis / Mortal Kombat / it's just, great game.
It's good.
Good game. And one more thing before we leave is I want to mention, I just threw this on here at the end, is take a look at the Shorty Awards. If you haven't heard about the Shorty Awards, it's kind of like an internet-based awards show that's going on for web content and social media and all sorts of crazy stuff. I'm not going to throw any support out for one person or another, but go check out that gaming section. I think there's like a online show section and stuff like that. Get out there and support your favorite casters, support your favorite shows, and participate in general. Like, I want to see a lot of esports up there to show people how far it's grown.
Vote or die 2012.
Vote esports.
Vote esports.
Going back to the... Anyway, so that concludes Boss Fight The Reload. Episode number 6, January 2nd through the 6th. Or 2nd through the 9th. I'm retarded. Anyways, so I am Josh Engel, also known as Answer Pro.
And I'm Mike Bisson, a.k.a. Mohawk Mike. Thank you for supporting esports, whatever capacity you do. And thank you for considering.